Good afternoon. I'm Pastor Rusty. It's Wednesday, the 22nd of April. I'd like to talk to you just for a little while. A Bible study this afternoon, this evening. I'm recording this a little bit earlier, but I'm going to put it up on Facebook for everybody to see at 6 o'clock. So hopefully you've had a good day, everything's going well. I'd like to talk to you about a couple verses this evening. So let's go to First Peter and consider something that Peter had to say there. You know, having been a disciple that walked with Christ and an apostle sent out by him to spread the gospel of the good news. Peter also, as an elder, oversaw churches, and he oversaw people, and he guided them in the proper spiritual walk in life. And as we get to 1 Peter chapter 5, he's giving advice, and he gives advice to elders and young men, but he drops on down in that verse. He says, humble yourself under the mighty hand of God. At the right time he will lift you up in honor. Give all your worries and cares to God, for he cares about you. And some other translations say, cast your anxiety upon him. You know, that's the absolute walk of faith, to cast your anxiety upon him. It's a faith action that I think that we as Christians are gifted with, the ability through our faith to take our cares, our anxieties, our worries, those things that inhibit us because they inhabit the realm of our thoughts. And anxieties are high right now during this time of isolation, during this time of coronavirus, during this time of what does the economy look like, and what's church going to look like when we get back together. And you know, there's arguments and there's fighting, there's picketing, there's lots of things that are going on right now that can cause a lot of anxiety. But you know, we as believers, we have this promise. He says, cast your anxiety upon him. Why? Because he cares for you. You're on his mind. You are his investment. And he wants us to have the best life that we can have by following him and walking after him. And then walking by faith, which we need that to take care of our anxieties. And listen, when he says going down, he says, stay alert. Be watchful. Be sober. Watch out, because your great enemy, and we know that to be Satan, the devil, he prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. Now, if you think about that, this is a picture. This is a set of words that Peter is forming a picture with, so that we can see. We don't live a life where we understand necessarily that much about lions. We study about them or watch documentaries about them, or we've seen them at the zoo. But as far as living in a world where there were lions and dangerous animals, and see the picture he paints there of our adversary, like a roaring lion. The word means to walk around, to be restless, looking for somebody to devour. Where he's talking about anxiety here. So let's see how we can put those together. If he's talking about anxiety, and he's talking about our mind being the battlefield. You know, Paul tells us to bring every thought into captivity of Christ, to not allow our thoughts to run away from us, but to always come back to Christ with those. And so we know we have an adversary. Peter says that he is looking for the weak. He's looking for someone who's already overwrought with anxiety. And what does he want to do? He wants to devour us. How does he do that? Well, he entangles us in worry. He entangles us in doubt. He entangles us in fear. You know, we're also told by Paul that our shield of faith will withstand the fiery darts of the wicked one, also referring to the devil, Satan, the adversary. See, it says in here that he is our adversary. He's our great enemy. And so you get a picture of like a courtroom where Jesus is our advocate. And he stands, and yeah, we're guilty. And so we have our accuser, the accuser, and we have Jesus our advocate, and it's a courtroom, and we're guilty. We've done the things that we were told not to do, and we've not done the things that we were told to do. And so he thinks he has an ironclad case, except Christ says, I have forgiven that. And there's where we must dwell in our mind. We must dwell where we live by the faith that we are forgiven, and that no accusation brought against us can stand. No charge brought before the Father against us can stand, because Christ has forgiven it. The penalty's been paid. And that's what was established on that great day that he died for us, and on that wonderful day when he rose again from the grave. It was taken care of. We don't have these reasons to doubt and to fear because He cares for us. It's kind of like if you know that you've got a super wealthy uncle and the bill collectors are at your door, they're ringing on your phone, they're sending you emails, and they're always trying to get you to pay them more money. You simply don't have it. But you have this great benefactor who can write a check at any moment and is willing to, at any moment, to write a check out of grace. And that's what Christ has done. So see what Peter is saying is, and all through 1 Peter, he's writing to people who have been displaced, and they're having troubles and they're having struggles, and he's telling them to live like Christians and to always think about Christ in everything that you do. So he says, be alert. Another translation says, be sober. And you think, okay, so what does this have to do with being intoxicated? Well, you see, worry is intoxicating. It causes us to think incorrectly. It causes us to pace, and our thoughts run away from us, and we get overwhelmed. And much like alcoholic intoxication, worry, doubt, fear it'll put you in a stupor. It'll keep you from succeeding in the full life that God has promised. So let's consider this again. Humble yourselves before the mighty power of God. You don't have power on your own. At the right time, He will lift you up and honor you. Keep doing what you're doing. Stay at the stuff. Own it. Own your life as a Christian. Give all your worries and your anxieties and your cares. Cast them, the translation says, upon Christ. Cast them. That means to lay them off of you onto Him. Why do we do this? Because He cares. Because He wants to take our worries and our cares and our anxiety. But like every other instance, He will not force Himself upon us. So cast your cares upon Him. Stay sober. Stay vigilant. Stay alert. Watch out for your enemy. Watch out. That's something you can do. You can be on guard for where he's trying to invade the spaces of your mind, to give you doubt, to give you anxiety, to make you worry, to run around afraid over things that are going on. And, you have to understand that nothing that's happening in the world today catches God off guard. There's nothing that's happening that He's unaware of, that He doesn't have everything already provided and planned out for you to make it through this time. But you must walk the path that He's given you. Stand firm against him. Be strong against the devil. In your faith, remember that your family of believers all over the world is going through the same kind of suffering you are. A lot of times what causes us great anxiety is we think we're the only ones suffering. We think we're the only ones that are going through anything. We think we're the only ones that have this incident that's happened into our life. And when people come to us and they try to help us, we want to come back with, you don't understand. Well, I can't fully walk in anybody else's shoes, but I understand worry. I can't walk where somebody's walked in grief because I haven't lost the individual that they've lost, but I've lost individuals. When we come and try to encourage one another, it's because we understand to a degree, and because we have faith that God Almighty, through the power of Jesus Christ, will lift you up when it's time. Keep doing the stuff, you guys. Don't let go just because we can't meet right now. Stay strong. Stay focused. Stay vigilant. You have an enemy. He wants to devour you. He works in your mind. Pray, and pray in faith for God to intercede on your behalf, to help you in your time of struggle. Remember those that are at home. Remember those that are lonely. Remember those that feel isolated and separated. Those that can't do loneliness, can't do solitude. Remember those that are hurting today. Keep your eye and your focus on Christ. He'll lift you up in due season. I'm Pastor Rusty, and I'll talk to you later. God bless.